Grace's mail-order husband. Clean historical Western cowboy romance. Texas Prairie Brides. Book 1. Written by Kate Whitsby. Narrated by Florence D. Yaklin. Chapter 1. On the landing at the top of the stairs, Grace met Abigail Doering. Abigail still wore her flowery hat. "Oh, you're here, Grace. I thought you'd be long gone." Grace's eyes darted into the room next to the landing, and she dropped her voice to a murmur. "I was hoping Miss Florence would let me off later." "Don't tell me you haven't even asked her yet," Abigail exclaimed. "You better hurry if you want to get out in time." "I know," Grace replied. "I was thinking to ask her, later." Abigail squeezed Grace's arm. "You'll be fine. I'm sure she'll let you off. How are you doing with it all anyway?" Grace passed the back of her hand across her forehead. "I'm a nervous wreck. I can't do anything right this morning." Abigail laughed. "That's to be expected, isn't it? You're getting married, after all." She nodded down at the pitcher of flowers in Grace's hands. "These are beautiful. If this is what you mean by not doing anything right, I don't think you have anything to worry about." Grace blushed. "Thank you, Miss Doering. I really appreciate you saying that." "I've told you 100 times to call me Abigail," she replied. "We've been friends here on the AA Ranch for 2 years. I think we can call each other by our first names." Grace glanced into the room again. "I don't think—" She didn't finish her sentence. A female voice called from within the room. "You can bring those in, Miss Montgomery. We're all waiting for you." Grace hurried into the room, and Abigail followed her. On the other side of the room, a tall, slender young woman stood at the window. A glittering organza gown trailed the ground around her feet, and her chocolate-brown hair piled high on top of her head. She turned from the window when the other 2 women entered. "You're late as usual." "I'll never know why you're always so incurably late. We've tried everything from cutting your pay to throwing things at you, and nothing seems to work. Perhaps losing your position will jog you out of your stupor." Grace set the pitcher down on a low table in front of a settee upholstered in brocade, and turned away without answering. Abigail took the pin out of her hat and set the hat down next to the pitcher. "You don't have to get nasty, Florence. Grace was just saying hello to me out on the landing. I'll thank you to not interfere when I'm trying to discipline my staff," Florence replied. "Honestly, Abigail, I would expect a woman of your breeding to know better." "And is that what I am?" Abigail shot back. "Am I a member of your staff, too?" Florence sneered. "Be reasonable, Abigail. You know I wasn't referring to you." "But I was," Abigail replied. "The last time I checked, both Grace and I work for your father, not you. He hired us both, and he pays us. That makes both of us his staff, not yours." Florence started to answer, but she stopped herself and turned towards Grace. "You can go now, Miss Montgomery. I understand you have an appointment to keep later today. Is that right?" Grace blushed again and kept her eyes down. "Yes, miss. If you can spare me, miss, I would appreciate taking some time off this afternoon. Perhaps since you're having a piano lesson with Abigail—" "You mean Miss Doering, don't you?" Florence interrupted. "Yes, miss," Grace whispered. "Well," Florence continued, "you still haven't brought the lemonade tray up from the kitchen." "There is no lemonade," Grace told her. Florence started. "What? No lemonade? How did this happen? You know I always have lemonade in the afternoon during the summer. I can't stand the heat without it." "I'm sorry, miss," Grace replied, "but Kathy told me to tell you she couldn't get any lemons. There aren't any to be had in the whole territory at this time of year. She said you can have tea if you want." "Tea?" Florence shrieked. "How could I have tea?" "I'm sorry, miss," Grace went on. "Kathy says it's tea or nothing." Florence gasped and spun away. "Tea? I never heard of such a thing. And I suppose there's no ice either in this heat." "Sorry, no, miss," Grace replied. Florence crossed to the window again. "I don't know how I'm supposed to stand this God-forsaken country with no lemonade and no ice. It's like hell on earth." Grace and Abigail shared a secret smile behind Florence's back. When she didn't answer,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?